Greetings, everyone. So it's just a couple weeks now before I go into the surgery for my brain, and we're going to. I'm sure that's going to go tremendously well. I have every confidence, and I wanted to share with you today some of the distinctive teachings of shamanism, the way that I've learned it. It's the North work, which I've written about in the past, of the Four Winds, Healing the Light Body School training. And it's very subtle, but extremely important work, especially for the health of the healer, the teacher, the shaman. You know, when I refer to shaman, I refer to that broad envelope that really covers all kinds of healings and all kinds of teachings, and yet is hopefully fundamentally non-hierarchical, non-institutionalized, and not restricted to a certain closed system or dogma, as it were. All of those are very useful in many, many ways. All of the traditions and the philosophies, if they're good, they cover some of the layers of what is needed for our healing, to come into our power and freedom. And I just like the idea of remembering that we heal to live, we don't live to heal. That the three main teachings of the North work are invisibility, keeping secrets even from yourself, and mastery of time, but mastery in general of time and space. And what that means, invisibility is really important, because if you look at many of the teachings of the spiritual traditions of the East primarily, they are based on non-attachment, no ego, not being driven by ego or ego aggrandizement, but being driven by a vision, being driven by a calling, and completely unattached to the outcome. And so when you're unattached to any dogma, any belief system, any role that you identify with or disidentify with, you become completely free and flowing, like glass. You're invisible. Nobody can project onto you. No, you cannot be attacked by physical or non-physical beings of any sort, or sorcery, or anything like that. Instead, you're able to be very fluid. You're able to fit in everywhere. You're able to have rapport everywhere. And without having to do much at all, your teaching, your healing, whatever it is that you do, will be able to be received to its greatest extent, with its greatest impact, without it having anything to do with yourself. So you're a facilitator, and you allow the healing to come directly from source and directly from earth, and you take no praise and no blame, and therefore you stay free and clear and healthy in your own right. You become what's known as a shapeshifter. The second teaching, keeping secrets even from yourself, has to do with the idea that it's not having to know everything. Information is knowing that water is H2O. Knowledge is being able to make it rain by being rain. Wisdom is knowing whether or not that's even a good idea at this point. So to be able to keep secrets even from yourself is to allow for the unknown and the unknowable to be at play, and to perhaps even work in your favor more than against you. And so this turkey has a lot to say about that as well, apparently. Anyway, so so what that has to do with healing, it has to do with the idea that you have to allow others to be in their power. You don't want to take their power away. You don't want to become their source of knowledge, wisdom, or guidance. You want everyone to be equal in that respect, no hierarchy. And so there's a lot of times when people will benefit more and be served more by finding their own answers, by experiencing their own pain and pleasure, and even going through their own suffering if necessary, until they ask. Because people haven't heard the answer to a question they haven't asked. And it's unsolicited advice is really only criticism. it's not as helpful as you think it is. It's basically saying, do this because what you're doing is not very good. So it avoids judgment, and allows discernment also, that you don't always have to try and help everybody. That would be impossible. And you certainly wouldn't want to take on their energy, their quote-unquote karma, in order to help them, you see. So keeping secrets, it's like going to the movies and knowing that it's not real, but you keep it a secret from yourself so that you can enjoy the drama, the pain and the pleasure, of course, of it. Got to have contrast. The third teaching of the North is mastery of time. And what that essentially means is that you're not driven by, again, the attachment or the need to get anything done in a particular time frame. You know, we've dealt with things, we've lived with wounds in our souls now for many, many lifetimes, perhaps many generations. And so we don't want to rush time. We want it to work in our favor. The Carol would have a saying, why do today that which would take care of itself in 3 or 4 days? So you can conserve a tremendous amount of energy by allowing time to work for you, not against you. And what that also means, since time and space are interrelated, is that you can allow creation the time to manifest that which is being called for, and therefore exhibit a kind of mastery of that. And in truth, it's the mastery of the story, and therefore the mastery of your experience, right? Because the experience that you feel and that you have, your reality, like I've said before, comes from the perceptions that you hold. And those perceptions are based on what you're telling yourself and what you're telling others and what they're telling you, the influences on you from all layers of your being. So you can heal, but healing is not enough. You want to do that north work. You want to become completely free from influences, free from roles, from having to do anything. And you can do any of it. You can come back and be the healer, be the friend, be the mother, be the hero, be anything you want. And yet it's even more effective because you're not attached to it. You don't have to be it. And the basis of life is freedom. So anything that you have to do is bondage. It's the opposite. It's not a life affirming. And so anyway, those are the teachings that keep coming up over and over, and I just wanted to share them with you again so that you can move into the East and you could become the one who masters the ability to create your story. And by the way, turkey medicine, their characteristic and instinct is bringing your vision to earth. It's the land eagle. So the broad vision, but manifesting it. So it's appropriate. It's the work. It's part of the work of the East to manifest your experiences. And that's what turkey does for us. Turkey is the land eagle. As the Carol would say, you could have a spiritual experience. You can transcend this physical world and this body and your limited duality and feel the oneness. But then so what? How do you grow corn with it? Otherwise, it's just interesting conversation, good conversation, important conversation. But you have to do that next step. You really came here to do that next step. And Turkey reminds us to do that next step, to play here in the theater, to be grounded in reality, to enjoy playing together and with all of nature and all the creatures and all the stone people and the plant people and the mountains. We want to co-create and continue to take it beyond where it's been before. More and more complexity. The Buddha, a great example of Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, and have a good time. Goof around. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, have a good time, and goof around. So, yeah. So, that's the idea. From a place of power and freedom. That's the whole healed individual. Now we have some beautiful deer medicine kind of coming our way. And, hi. It's a lovely little family here. And deer medicine is being gentle on yourself. So, allowing yourself to follow your own agenda, to not take things too seriously, to not beat yourself up, but to be very, very gentle on yourself. That's the deer medicine. So we're happy to be blessed by these beautiful deer here today. Hi, sweethearts. Look at the little baby over here. It's so nice. Hi. So anyway. Yeah, don't take it all too seriously. The Karo also have a saying, essentially, that we take our work seriously as healers and teachers and shamans of the village, but we never take ourselves seriously, because that wouldn't be the North work. And then we'd be able to be projected upon, and we'd be able to be attacked, I guess, or whatever the word is. So, stay free and easy and gentle. All right. So that way you don't give your power away to those who would hurt you or those who would help you. There's nobody above you. There's nobody below you. And it's your life to live and to choose as you wish. And of course, this is the ideal, that you would be completely free and in your power and unattached and no ego. And in the meantime, you still want to do all that you can, of course, to protect yourself and to heal and to work towards your ultimate power and freedom, and to ask for and receive help. Again, all the while keeping your power, your mastery over your story. Blessings.